Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. I'm first of all wishing you compliments of the season, and I wish you a trying 2023. It will be a difficult one, but we have to try. My statement is very simple. It's very short, and it is arising from the 16 months of President Hakainde Hichilema's rule. I'm basically looking at how President Hakainde Hichilema has been ruling this country, and the fear that I have. I want to tell you that we are deeply concerned. It's not just myself. We have been talking with a number of stakeholders, and we are deeply concerned with President Hakainde Hichilema's mental status, if I could put it that way. Mental status. And my statement, I will read the statement and then I will add on something. So, from our point of view, we are saying President Hakainde Hichilema could be suffering from a mental disorder known as mythomania. Mythomania. I want you to go and check that. Mythomania. Mythomania. He could be suffering from this mental disorder. And this is not just about politics or trying to be sensational. No. This is real, my brothers and sisters. If you go and check that word, what that word means, mythomania, you will agree with me that we are supposed to be concerned. And you know, when somebody has got a sickness or a psychological disorder, you are definitely wondering, is this person fit to be Republican president? As far as I am concerned, I am doubting the fitness, the mental fitness of President Hakainde Hichilema to rule this country. I'm really doubting, because I think that this man needs to be subjected to a psychiatric diagnosis. He needs to be checked. Now, of course, what is mythomania? Mythomania is an excessive or abnormal propensity for lying and exaggerating. I'll repeat that. Mythomania is a mental disorder whereby a person has got this excessive or abnormal propensity to lie or exaggerate. Such people believe in their own lies. They believe in their own lies. He will be telling a lie and he believes it that it is true. And they want everyone to believe those lies, even when they know that they are actually lying. It is a mental disorder. And brothers and sisters, sickness is not just about physical sicknesses, because this is what we are commonly, aware of. We only think of sickness when somebody and whatever. But there is also a mental sickness. And a person who is perpetually lying, who lies for sometimes no apparent reason, that is a psychological or mental disorder called mythomania. And this, from my point of view, I think President Hakainde Hichilema has it. And I'm calling upon Zambians that we should subject President Hakainde Hichilema to a psychiatric test. He needs to be tested. Because I know some of you will be saying, no, but I mean, you are being sensational. I'm not being sensational. How many of you or people out there in this country who doesn't know about the lies of President Hakainde Hichilema? President Hakainde Hichilema has been lying from the time that he was in business, the time that he was opposition leader, and now as president, he has been lying. I can recount the number of lies that President Hakainde Hichilema has been subjecting the Zambian people to And they are uncountable. One doesn't need, he doesn't need, you don't need, you don't need a polygraph, you know, that lie detector. You don't need a polygraph to tell the lies of President Hakainde Hichilema. You don't need it. You don't need it because they're just evident. Starting from the promises. Look at the promises that he was talking about. I mean, the man has even no shame whatsoever, you know, to say, some people have been expecting to say, no, he should apologize for the lies. How can he apologize when somebody's sick? He can't, he doesn't realize it. He doesn't realize it. From my point of view, this is how I'm looking at it. He doesn't realize that Hakainde Hichilema doesn't realize that he's lying because it is a mental disorder called mythomania. Then, even, I mean, look, there are so many issues that I can point to. I can point to so many issues. Talk about, no, the promises, the campaign promises. For example, no, you will get 8 bags of fertilizer. This is a promise that he made. A promise that he made. He's in power. Have you heard him go back to retract to say, no, we are having issues, and that's why we are giving you to Meda. That's why we are giving you less than what we promised. He hasn't. He can't apologize. People are thinking he can apologize. He can't apologize because it is a mental disorder. If indeed President Hakainde Hichilema was fit to rule this country, he was a leader that is normal with a sober state of mind, he will come out and apologize to say, sorry, this is what we thought, but this is what is obtaining. But he can't do that because it is a mental disorder. It is there. I'm not fabricating this. I'm not an expert. I'm not a psychologist. But the definition of it doesn't need me to be a doctor. Doesn't need me to be a psychiatrist. The definition of it defines President Hakainde Hichilema. Even instances, for example, you have that issue that you, the media, brought out, you know, and put him to task. When he said, did you meet him in Lungu? No, I never met Lungu. And everyone was, you know, like I told you, that they want everybody to believe. And they want everybody to sing the same lie. It happened during the time of Lungu's issue. During the time of Lungu's issue, President Hakainde Hichilema refused to have met Lungu. And because this mental disorder makes everybody to believe in their lies and to tell the same lie, we had the justice minister, we had the attorney general, we had the presidential aides, we had the vice president, everybody lying because the president lied. And this is the danger. You see, this is the danger of somebody who has got this mental condition. Because when you are a president, when you lie, you have to force everyone to lie. This is the danger. This is why I'm saying he must be tested. We must see if he's fit, because he's going to be subjecting to government to be lying. And that is not right. And a good example is the one of Lungu, where we had all these people lining up, lying, to say, no. The president never met Lungu. At the end of the day, what did we find out? When you pressed hard in that press conferences, he came to agree. I met him, but we didn't discuss the immunity. But the lie was already told, and the people were made to repeat the same lie. It is dangerous for our country, my brothers and sisters. I'm not just doing politics. This is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and this is one example that I've given you. Imagine how many people believed decisions, policies will be made by governments, by business community, by other government officials. They will be making decisions based on a lie. And that is very dangerous. Just the other day, I even had, that newspaper. The other day, had to know when he was removing the, what is this? The death penalty. I was on death row. Honestly, I mean, do you need a polygraph to tell that this man is suffering from a mental disorder? You don't need it. I was on death row. How? Which way? Where was Hakainde Hichilema on death row. Yes, he was charged of treason, that's for sure. But we can say that, as we all know, that you are not guilty until the court pronounces you guilty. And when you are pronounced guilty, that is when you can be on death row. But did Hakainde Hichilema come anywhere? Did he come anywhere to being on death row? Not at all. Not at all. So, these are the lies that I'm talking about, that this man is a perpetual liar. He keeps lying. And that is not acceptable. We should not accept it. We should not accept a leader in that office, in the highest office, to be telling lies. We should not accept it. And I'm challenging President Hakainde Hichilema that if he's fit, if he's not indeed suffering from this mental disorder of mythomania, can he subject himself to a psychiatric diagnosis so that we can know that the man is fit? Otherwise, we are deeply worried we might be laid by somebody that is not fit to rule this country. Like I've said, sickness is not just physical. Sickness can also be mental. And in this instance, I am suspecting President Hakainde Hichilema is suffering from this mental disorder, and it is affecting the country in many, many ways. In many, many ways. We can't go on like that. Let this man be subjected to a mental diagnosis. Let him be checked. If they say no, he's okay, well and good. But as it is, wherever you are, you know it is not something that we should take lightly. We need to take it very seriously. Let this man be checked. Thank you very much. Any questions? My press conference and they were very thorough. So, no question. Could you have a question?
Not really a question, but I'm trying to get clarity from what you said in regards to the president saying was on death row. My name is Adora Luenda from DC.
From DC, yes, Adora.
So, from what I heard, he actually said initially I was on death row, and if any of you judges had gone ahead to convict me, initially I would have been on death row. So he didn't actually say, according to my understanding, to say he was actually on death row. But if the judges had gone ahead and convicted him, then it would have meant that he was guilty of treason, and it would have been a death row sentence. So I don't know how you...
No. Did Hakainde... Look, the issue is, he was arrested late. Consider, it's undebatable. He was arrested. He was charged of treason. But surely, that does not make you to be on the death row. You can't say, let me give you an example of a I don't want to, to stigmatize anyone, but okay, of a sickness. Of a sickness. You know, there are certain sicknesses which when you get it, you're going to die. Okay? But by the fact that you go and sit with somebody who is sick, can you come and say who's got that sickness, which is, you can die? Would you go and say, I was almost dying? I was almost dying. You can't, and please, I don't want to stigmatize anyone. That's why I'm being very careful. But, so, for example, there are these sicknesses that you can contract STI, isn't it? And some of them, you can die. Once you get it, you're on death row, if you put it that way. Now, just because I come and sit with somebody, can I go in the death row? You are far away. You can't come and start saying, if only she had agreed to sleep with me without protection, you are exaggerating. And karaka mythomania, wachumfa definition. Lying and exaggerating.
just
yes, Francis.
In an event, he accepted to go for mental examination, and he is proved to be the opposite of what you suspect. Meanwhile, you have already tried the secret to demand for being read by a person who is mental.
Who may have a mental disorder, yes.
Who may have a mental disorder. Wouldn't the medical fraternity accuse you of trying to secure the rights of those people that are mentally disordered? Because that's not their choice to be in the same way.
My statement is very clear. I'm not talking about mental disorder in general. I'm very specific on the president. And my conclusion, and I've already said I'm not an expert, my conclusion is arising from the many lies. You know, in psychology, behavior is a repeated action. And this is repeated. President Hakainde Hichilema's lies are repeated and exaggeration repeated. So it is not anything to do with those people in mental disorder. If anything, I actually sympathize with them and I want to take them seriously as well as human beings. Because Umuntu, if he has got a mental disorder, sometimes we think of them as less human. But no, it is just a sickness, like any other sickness, which anyone can have. And in this instance, even the President Hakainde Hichilema, just like he can get sick of, what is this, COVID, he can also get a sickness out of this mental disorder. And from the behavior, symptoms, I'm seeing symptoms of this sickness. And that's why I'm calling for this. So it is not about other people with mental disorder. Yes, my brother, you have just come in. You want to ask something?
No. Yeah.
It's clear.
Yes.
Somebody lifted their hand. That's it? Yes, so you wanted to ask.
Yeah, I'm Singara from the group.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to analyze your statement. What you've already stated. Are you telling Zambia to say there are more mental disorder because they are the ones that have chosen that presidency?
Yes, of course, mental disorder, and my emphasis is really here. I'm sure psychologists will be very happy with me. Psychologists and the psychiatrists will be very happy with me. There are many mental disorders in this country. I may have one myself. I don't know which one that one is, Maybe Lungu, I don't know. It is a mental disorder. So you can have, there are many different mental disorders, and you can have one, and each one of us may have one. I may have one myself. And in this instance, I am being very specific on President Hakainde Hichilema to say, Uwufi wachilamu. He lies too much, where it is not even necessary for him to lie. I don't have to go through the number of lies that he brings out. You know them. Takwabo muntu wepa ngefu ba Hakainde Hichilema. Vulwele according to me. Done, eh? Thank you very much.